Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Naturally Yours podcast, where we celebrate our beautiful women of color while spotlighting their success and bringing more awareness to their natural hair. So, on today for episode 13, I have the pleasure of interviewing a very special young lady by the name of Jay, who is the founder and CEO of a production company called Seventh Made Productions. Help me welcome Miss Beautiful Jay.
Hey.
Hey, Jay.
Hey,
Thank you
hey.
so
How
much
are
for
you?
being with us today.
Thank you for having me. What's going on?
You're welcome. You're welcome. Well, we wanted to interview someone special in the video photographer world. So you were the perfect person
Well,
to give, our audience some expertise in that field because, content is king. So
it's a thing.
yes, it's a big thing. So people need to know these gems, these these steps on what to take, how to be a better video photographer, maybe if you're already doing it.
Mhm.
So because you are dope and you make great content. So the world needs to know this.
I appreciate that. But yeah,
You're
content
welcome.
is crazy. I actually just did something not too long ago that was like geared specifically towards content, which was the first time I did that. But it's definitely a thing.
Yes, it is definitely a thing. And we're both content creators, so we definitely know it's important.
Facts. Meanwhile, I don't really do much of my own content creating. That's crazy, right? Like for my photos, I do, but like actual content, it's like here I am, like creating other people's content, and my content is kind of like spotty, but it happens. I'm creating content, not always mine, but it works.
Right. Right. Just wait till they see your consistent content when you do start bringing it out.
Right? I need to.
You
But what
will. You
got it?
will. Okay, so let's open it up, Jay, by why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your backstory and what you currently do.
Ooh, my backstory, like personally or like with business, with what?
L-
Or both?
Maybe take us back to before you started being a full-time entrepreneur. Like, what were you doing then?
Mhm.
What job were you doing? What came over you and made you be like, I'm done with corporate America. I want to just go straight into entrepreneur and never look back. Kind of
Right.
give us a little bit about that.
Okay. So when I made the official dive into it, I was working in procurement in the petroleum company, bless it, in the petroleum industry. So I'm in Houston, so it's really big down here, oil and gas, Texas, that whole thing. So that's what I was doing at the time. But I've been wanting to do it full time for years, but I'm just very particular. I was like, I need things to be in order. So I want to save a certain amount because I know that, like, it can be rough. Like, you might have good months, and then the next month might be terrible. Like, you have to build a plan for that. So I
Hmm.
kind of like a few times though, even before that, I tried to like segue out of corporate. I'm like, let me figure out how I can work less hours but keep the job. So like, I just like that whole balancing act. And then so when I decided that I was going to do it, I was gonna try to wait until the fall or the winter because I wanted to coach basketball, but it wasn't working
Hmm.
out. Like, it was just me and one other person, but still, like, it was just I wasn't feeling it. I was already kind of over it just in general. And I went on vacation, um, and there was a complaint about the vacation, and I was just like, "See, this is what I'm talking about. This is the stuff. Like, I don't need to have to all this going back and forth, having to ask you about your time and whatever. Even though you agreed that I did have the time, and so I was like, I was done with it. So I was thinking like,
Hmm.
this might be it. Like, this might be it. Like, I can't fund it. Like, and so, like I said, so it was this whole production because it was a smaller company. It was a big company, but all the other employees were like, not outsourced. What's the word though? In
Overseas?
contractors basically.
Okay.
Um, but they were global though, so like literally all across the world. So I was the only one here, and then the only he would come in and out. But the company was actually based in Lagos in Nigeria. So at any rate, I was
Hmm.
at the office a lot by myself, which probably kept me there longer because I had to deal with people. But so it was a smaller company, and when it came time to take the vacation, he's like, "Oh, how long are you gonna be gone?" I told him, and he was like, "That's too long." It was a week, y'all. Um, And he's like, that's too long. You know how long I had to work before I had 2 weeks of vacation? And I was like, but that's what's in my contract that we both signed. And so we're not going to debate it, right? I said, I get the email, I attach the contract, I highlight it. Like, so I actually have this amount of time, this amount of personal days, you know, all these things, whatever. Like, so this is within my time. And he's like, but you shouldn't have that much time.
What?
Like, so you should have thought about that before you agreed to these terms, because this is
It's
what,
too late.
right. So it was just all this production, hot pun. Anyways, and so I was just like, yeah, I was really not here for that. So while I was gone, I thought about it a little bit, not a lot, because I was on vacation. And on the way back, so we actually went to Sydney. So, you know, it's like a long flight. So on the way back, I was like, let me look at my email, like, just to see what I'm about to be walking back into, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I had already taken extra days off so I could like recuperate. I know if I was gonna have jet lag, all that type of stuff. So I had like a few more days, so I had to go back. And so I'm checking emails, and it's like, just, it wasn't drama, but it was just letting me know that this is about to be, you know, enough. So
A dud.
yeah, I get in, I put my time in, and like that was pretty much it. I when he realized that I was serious, he was like, well, what about this? What about that? Because again, it's procurement, but the project was off the coast of Africa. And so, of course, shipping takes forever. So we had stuff that we had just sent off, which means it's going to take time to get there. He's like, oh, can you see these projects through? Mm-mm, no. And then he was like, but it's not there. And I was like, I understand. I was like, you know, so-and-so can do it. You know, he knows, yada, yada, yada. Have all the information. And he was just like, can you just stay until then? I was like, tell you what, I will bill you hourly. We can do a contract. And he was just like, oh my gosh. I said, okay, fine, whatever. First he said no. He didn't say no, but he said no. And then finally he was just like, fine. He was like, just tell me what it's going to cost. So I sent him, you know, what the hourly was, and it was 30% more than what I was making. And he was like, you don't even make that much now. All I said was okay. Like, it's not a debate. Like I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? I don't work for you.
Right. Exactly. You need me at the end of the day.
Right. And I didn't go up, y'all. I didn't go up because, um, just because it's like now I have more expenses. You know, as an entrepreneur, it's just like you get billed twice. Fun fact, if anybody that doesn't know, you get charged taxes for as employee and employer. So my taxes have doubled. I now don't have insurance, which my insurance was bomb. Because I have really great insurance because they work out on a rig and it's like really dangerous. So I had global insurance. I didn't have to pay for anything. My insurance literally included like life back. What, you know how
Life back?
like is it called life back? No, lifeline, my bad. It's not called back. That's something that's the people use on the rig, like when they got evacuate. But no, like lifeline, like helicopter, like that actually was covered by.
Oh, nice.
That's how dope that insurance was. Obviously, I didn't need that level of insurance, but my point is, I don't have insurance anymore. I have to pay twice the taxes, so that's where I got caught that number of charging 30% more. So he didn't want to pay it, and I was like, you know, okay, we're not gonna debate it. And it was probably like 3 days later. Whatever the price is, just tell so and so, which was his accountant. And I was just like, fine. So then I did that, and I worked contract for him for maybe like 2 or 3 more months, just, you know, as needed. But I did that from the house. It's like, I'm not coming to the office because I don't need to. Like, it can be done remote. And then that was it. That's how I made my exit.
Mm-hmm. And it was nice to get that extra 30% in that 90 days too.
Right, exactly. So I was just like, hey, is what it is, ain't what it ain't. Look, I can't lie though. So again, it wasn't a flex. It wasn't like me like retaliating. It's just, it was a logical, you know, decision how I got to that 30%. But when he was bothered about it, I was proud of myself because I didn't try to be like, oh, okay, well, you can pay whatever. It's just like, no, because it's not about you.
Right.
One, I have my money together. Two, if you're about to run a business, you have to be okay with saying no, don't compromise, you know. Oh, okay. Not don't compromise, because sometimes you need to compromise. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't compromise where you can't afford to. In that case, I was not able to afford to. So I was just like, yo, look at me out here, like, making business moves,
yes.
right? Like,
yes.
Moment.
Yes, I'm so proud of you.
I was like, and it was the right decision because he sees your value. So
okay, because he paid it
right for 3 months.
Yes, he did. Because he did not want to be without you.
Right.
So, hey, when you got value, that's how it goes.
Exactly. So that's the long of the short, not the short of the long. That's how we got here.
Wow. Wow. So, did you enjoy that job? Like before, like leaving the messy part of it out. Like, did you enjoy the job itself?
Not really. I didn't dislike it. So before I went there, I was working in broadcast. I was working in sports, like sports production, sports broadcasting, but like
Hmm.
behind the scenes. So we were basically responsible for like getting the stuff out to you. We prepped the shows, all kind of thing. I'm into sports. I'm really big in basketball. So like at the end of the day, when basketball season was, live, I was basically there was a lot more technical stuff, but in layman's terms, I was getting paid to keep up with the sports world. So it was fine.
Right.
Um, but the work environment there started getting toxic, and I can't function in
Mm,
negative energy. Um,
right.
but I had also already only planned to be there for a few years just to get on my resume because right out of school, rewinding, right out of college, I actually did do seventh grade like full time. I didn't get a job when I graduated, but in my head, I was just like, if you need something to fall back on, no matter how well your business goes, corporations are going to look at your work history, like your actual work history. So I was like, don't
Hmm.
get out here and like, even though I had a degree and all that, wait 3 years and try to get a job. Like, what have you been doing? It's not going to translate. So I was like, let me get something on my resume. So that's how I ended up working in the broadcasting. And it was a big, I don't work anymore, it doesn't matter. So I used to work at Fox Sports. um, and so people, they see the big name and they think, all this and that you're getting paid all crazy, which you weren't. But I didn't do it for that. I also worked at night. So I still have my days. Like I can shoot when I want to, like, whatever. But seeing the pay and seeing like what the career path would be, it was a dead end everywhere. You could pretty much be a manager and that was it. And they didn't make much more than we did. And it was never good pay. But I was just like, get it on your resume. Also get my days are still free to shoot. So if I go shoot, it's just like, now I gotta go sit and watch sports tonight. But you know what I'm saying? I literally made like probably half of my check, you know what I'm saying, just with my production. So I was like, it was a
Hmm.
good balance. But then I think the people got
Right.
toxic. And so I started to leave then, but I wasn't where I wanted to be, like financially. So
Gotcha.
when the thing came up, like I said, it was supposed to be, I got duped, y'all, into the procurement part. It was supposed to be executive assistant. My mom was like, you don't want to do that. I was like, I can do any job and I'll do it great, but you're right, I don't really want to do it, but we're going to help you get these coins. So it was something to do. It was something to do, strategic, but the job itself wasn't necessarily too exciting. It wasn't boring, but the reason it lasted though was because, like I said, it was just me and him there, but he would travel so
Hmm.
much. So he might be in for like a week and then he'll be gone for weeks, plural. So like that was fine with me. Like I had to get to manage my own time, like whatever. And if he was gone
Right.
times, he would be there. Like, in Nigeria with the time difference, like I didn't have to deal with him too much. So it was tolerable,
Right.
but no, I did not enjoy it. Like I didn't leave there like, oh, let me go get another procurement job. Like,
Like, no, I'm good.
nah, they can keep it. But I did really like working at Fox. I did like that. That was dope.
And what was the name of it?
Fox Sports, like the TV network.
Fox Sports. Got you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I bet you did. That was a heck of an experience too, being there.
Yeah, it
Was
was.
would you say? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, like I said, it was fun. Go ahead.
Um, so would you say that probably was maybe one of the funnest jobs you had?
Uh, yeah. So I have not actually. I mean, if you don't count college, right? Like I have not really had too many jobs. I kind of skip places and stay or whatever. So, well, kind of. So I did. I did Fox. So I got out of school. I graduated in December. I did seventh grade until September. And then I was at Fox for like a little bit over like 4 years. And then I did procurement company. And then I went out. So I didn't really do a whole lot of corporate, like, so maybe about 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Then everything else in between was like production was always in the background, right? So that was like always a thing. But yeah, that was probably it. Because in college I did retail because
Mm-hmm.
it's what you do, I guess. But I worked at Nike, which was so funny because my friends were all like, "Oh my god, we never see you work retail." And then when they found out I worked at the Nike store, they was like, "It makes sense. Like it makes perfect sense. Like if you're gonna work at any retail store, you would be working at the sports clothing store." Um, and then my other job, I actually worked for a production house. So I said, production has
Mm,
always been in the mix. So I've never really had to jump around on the corporate front, but of my 9 to 5s, if you will, yeah, Fox was definitely the most fun.
got you. That's
And they only
awesome.
lasted so long because I wasn't able to work nights. If I had to work days, it wouldn't have lasted that long.
Got you, got you. So would you say the petroleum or the gas company
Mm-hmm.
really moved you into the entrepreneur lane, or or
No,
what really made you move into that 100%?
right. So, like I said, I always wanted to do it. I know I just wanted control of my time.
Mm-hmm.
The oil and gas pushed it along. It sped it up, and then also I've been wanting to coach for like years, like since high school. It just wasn't working out for my time. And then one
Gotcha.
of my friends hit me up and was like, "Hey, do you want to coach?" And I was just like, "Man, like I'm still working on nights. I can't coach because I worked either." So 4 of the days, 3 of the days, 3 of the days I worked 5 to 2, like 5 p.m. to 2 a.m. And then the other 2 days I
Mm,
worked midnight to 9. I'm like, I can't coach. I'm like, but hit me up, like, because I knew I wanted to make the transition, right? So the next year's like, hey, can you coach? And I was like, man, nah. It's like, but hit me up like next year, you never know. So the third year hits me up, and I was at the petroleum company, and I was just like, at that point, I was already kind of like there. So he hits me up like probably in like July, and I'm like, when do you need to know by? And he was just like, I mean, sooner than later, like when school starts. I was like, oh no, and he was like, by like September by the latest. And I was like, okay, I'll let you know. And I wanted to coach. So I'm like checking my funds, like, okay, I'm good, I'm good. So like it was the opportunity to do something I had already been wanting to do, which was coach. My
mm-hmm.
finances were together at the time, and then the negative energy just helped push it along. So I need control of my time. And then also another thing, it wasn't right then, but it was fueled all this, or gas on the fire, if you will, before I left
Mm-hmm.
Fox, because the environment just got in such a mess. It was like literally affecting me like physically, and so I was having like flare ups. So I have MS, multiple sclerosis, and it's a stress disease. So like stress like makes everything worse. I have like just production, and so I
Mm,
left there, and I didn't have any while I was at the petroleum company. I don't think. Because I had, I could control my time, but I was sleeping a lot because so I was technically I was still was having flare ups. But I was able to sleep because no one was there but me. Now I pause for the cause. I still got my work done. Shout out to him, hired me after the fact. So I'll get my work done. It's like you literally just have these like bits of exhaustion, and it's like narcolepsy, but like on steroids. You literally just have to go to sleep. Um, so I knew it was stressing me. So from a health standpoint, I'm like, yo, I can't keep doing this. Like I need to be able to sit down when I need to, nap when I need to, like all these things. And again, not even
mm-hmm.
I'm being lazy, but my body will literally just shut down. So health definitely lent to it. It wasn't as bad as it was when I was at Fox, but it was still, a thing. So I'm like, what we're not gonna
Right,
do is be stressed, unhappy. We're definitely not gonna, make my health worse. So
right, right.
health,
I'm with you on
and
that.
what I wanted to do, and not being in a negative environment. Those were the three things that just was the final push.
Yes, yes. I don't blame you on that. I don't like being around a negative environment either. I will stay away. My health is super important. I've developed back issues with this job that I have. So it's like I really want to get out because my back, I had 7 pinched nerves.
Oh
So
no.
I'm like, I need to
Eric,
get out of this job.
yeah, child. I'm telling you, it will wait on you. Like I said, I don't know if we were on yet, but like I was telling you, I used to think that people were being dramatic when they would say like, "Oh, this job is killing me," or like, I'm sick of it. Like it's literally making me sick. Like no, it's a thing. It's a thing.
It is. I have never gotten to this point. I feel like And just like how you said you haven't had many jobs, so you probably had what, 3 jobs?
Mm-hmm.
Girl, that's all I've had.
Right.
That's all I've had, and I've been working since I've been 15, and
Mm-hmm.
I've only had 3 jobs because I stay at them.
Right.
And it's like now since I'm seeing that, it's just time to experience something new
Right.
so that you can learn something different. You know what I mean?
Right. And for me, I used to always say it's so funny how strong people co-sign it. So I'm in or I'm out. You know what I mean? I'm not hot and cold. I don't do the gray area. We're here or we're here. Like we're not way.
Right.
And so, having said that, I always work on my job. You know what I'm saying? I'm always a top performer. I'm always at the top of the department. Like whatever I'm doing. Even at the like I was telling you, I worked at the when I was working for the temp agency. I always come for like everything. Everybody has to give reviews of you, and then that one place I was supposed to work for like 3 weeks. I ended up staying for months. They kept on like, stay. And one person, y'all cannot afford to stay here. And they were like, what do we have to pay you? And I was like,
She said,
I'm like, I still cannot stay. I was like, and I think they went up on my pay like $7, which is a decent
nice.
amount of money. Like
Heck
for
yeah.
right, because people would be like, oh, we'll give you a 75-cent raise. And I was like, I need $7 more an hour. I need $7 more an hour. And it was like,
Yes, they be killing
okay,
me with them coins. Oh, we
right,
gave you a quarter raise. Well, we gave you a nickel.
right.
What?
So they gave it to me, and I was just like, bet. But yeah, I was just like, I need control of my time. So yeah, but I was saying I work everywhere I go. Like I'm really prideful about that. I don't believe in half stepping. And so with that, it's like a double-edged sword, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
being a better employee, like you start getting other people's work, and they do this, do that, whatever. It's just like, yo, like, well, Tracy didn't get this done. Well, maybe if you got on Tracy's behind and made her do it, like, don't give me the work, but I know you'll get it done. It'll be. It's like you're being penalized for being a good employee,
Mm-hmm.
and that's happened everywhere I've worked, whether it's temp or a permanent job or like whatever, interning. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it, right? For the supervisors and managers, it's the path of least resistance. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they not doing a job, instead of arguing with them, I know you can get this, I'll just tell you. But I'm like, I hate that. Like, it's just like, so now I'm being overworked for being a good worker. No.
Right.
So,
Right.
the whole operation, I just can't with corporate for the most part. But I'm not a corporate shamer. I'm not a 9 to 5 shamer. I'm not the person that's like, oh my God, everybody should quit their job, don't work for the men. That's not my MO. It's just not for me. And I say all the time, I'm sure if I just really look for it, I could probably create or find a 9 to 5 that works for me. But that's not what I want to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
My biggest issue with 9 to 5s is not having control of my time. And because I've never
Mm-hmm.
worked anywhere that I didn't get everything done, I don't understand why if my work is done, I have to be here just for the sake of being here. I have a huge issue with that. You're just logging time just to do it. So
Right.
nah, that's my biggest thing. So like I know the jobs exist because I know people that have them, that have like amazing work-life balance and stuff, but I'm telling you that you almost could not pay me enough. Almost. To get a 9 to 5 where I have no control of my schedule. Like it ain't cute. I'll take a pay cut
I
for it,
agree with you.
which I did in a major way. So but I was so much happier, like for a very brief moment, Ty. For a very brief moment, I was like, this is real. Like nobody's sending you a check next week. Like you gotta go out and
Right.
get it. And I was just like,
Yes.
I will. Like we'll have to figure it out. Because again, since I had, all this experience and whatnot, and I know me, and I know I wasn't going to let it get to a point to a dire situation where it had been months or years since, I had done something. And so I was like, I'll have time to readjust. It won't be so far gone to where if I need to jump back in or if I need to, get in contact with the temp agency, I can do that. So I was like, let me just make sure that my safety nets are in place and look, child, we going for it because I can't want it. So that was my thing.
So why don't you tell me What are your next steps with your business, with your company?
So it's almost like I'm starting over, right? Because so I started the company in 2006 while I was still in school. But all along the way, I've either literally had full time jobs or I've had supplemental income, still jobs, but whatever, like contract stuff that literally can pay all of my bills, even before you get to
Right.
production. So
Right.
literally, here we are now, all these years later, and I'm literally just now getting to a point where this is all I'm doing. So my next moves are getting organized, getting a system, planning out my marketing. Because before,
Mm-hmm.
because I had the luxury of having, well-paying supplemental income, which I guess technically would be. So I had primary income, but that was my secondary interest, right? Like production was my primary interest, but I wasn't focused on it as much because I didn't need to, right? Which, depending on who you talk to, it could be a problem. But full transparency, that was my life. It is what it is, and what it ain't. So, um, organizing marketing, because I cannot depend on just word of mouth, which is
Mm-hmm.
word of mouth is the greatest compliment, y'all, for an entrepreneur. Like people like bragging on your stuff and referrals and all that, but it's time to go out and get it. So that's where I'm at, and finding a niche. Goodness, like because I kind of do everything. So
Gotcha.
I'm like, what's going to be my niche so that people know that? So my thing is now has always been like the details. My tagline literally is we capture everything. So 7 Day Productions, we capture everything. I'm extremely detail oriented. People talk about that all the time, like, oh, I didn't even see this, or I didn't know. Like they're always super surprised, especially when I do video. So that is a running theme, but that's not a niche. You know what I mean? That's just like a trait, something you're known
Right.
for. So I'm like, I gotta figure
Mm-hmm.
out what my niche is. And if I'm being fully honest, look, I can't even say what I roll in my eyes. Like, so weddings obviously are like a high ticket thing, and people are always getting married, and people like love my wedding videos. I do not like doing weddings, and
Weddings.
so
Dang.
I'm just
Dang.
like, dude. Like, do you really want to start advertising yourself as a wedding videographer? And the answer is no. So I really need to sit down and have some time and think how I want to approach that. If anything, maybe just do it, but like outsource it, not all of it, certain aspects of it. So I've tentatively decided that I'm going to like do one a month or two. Like it is what it is. First come, first serve. I'm not about to be a wedding videographer. Like, well, let me not say that because whatever, but that's not my intent. I'll say. So I gotta find a niche for advertising purposes.
Right. Right. I think I mean, since you're already a content creator, why not involve other content creators? Like you could do their videos, you could do their intros. Like for me, like I was basically searching for someone to do an intro for me
Mm-hmm.
for my YouTube video.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you could definitely help out a lot of YouTubers,
Right.
people who just create content on a daily basis, um, and
Right.
maybe sports because that's what you're really into. So I think those two things will be really good for you.
Right. Now, coincidentally enough, we have been toying with the idea of content and stuff. The thing with the content is it's not really a high ticket item, and I
Right.
don't want to get to a place where I'm having something I have to do constantly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because what I know about myself, so one of the reasons why I don't like corporate, besides not having control of my time, it's like the monotony, doing the same thing over and over. It's feeling like like the conveyor belt thing. So it's just like, so say I do the content thing, right? And that's like my thing. It's just like you're
Mm-hmm.
doing that all the time, all the time. It's just like because again, it's just a lower ticket item, all things considered. It's like how many of those do I need to do a month to pay my bills? And the answer is I don't know. First of all, depends on what I'm charging, obviously, but it's several, right? So, and I'm just like, I don't know, like I said, how do you make that worth your time? So I did do weekly
Right.
lives, which was basically just editing because I didn't have to record anything. I did that. I had about 5 people do that. That was cool. Um,
Like 5 clients you were doing that
mm,
for?
yeah,
Okay.
so I did
Are you
that.
still doing that?
So yes and no. So well, yes is the short answer. Yes. But so I did it for a month. It was like a month, a package for a month. It was 28 clips. So basically 7 a week, right? If there's 5 weeks in a month, I don't know what to tell you. Make it stretch. But so, but it was repurposing lives. So it's like you send me a live you want to do like a week, and I break it down. But I'd have to do several of those because I was charging. I was doing one. I think it was 180 or the one. I don't even remember. That's bad, right? Because what had happened was I added intros. I added like a little. Why am I doing like that? Y'all can see me. I guess y'all can, but like a graphic intro. And so then I was like, obviously I had the price, like the initial price, like the sale price or promotional price. So it's just like maybe like 200. But it's just like when you consider that everything else I do, literally everything else I do costs more than that. Which I mean, technically it should because it's more work, it's more involved or whatever. But I'm saying though, just for point of reference. So anything else that I would do, my minimum is like $255 an hour for like any production work that I do. So then you have these videos that take more than an hour, and you know what I'm saying, and it's $200. So it's just like it's working harder. It's not as efficient.
Right.
So making that a niche would be a whole lot of work. I would have to add something else, which is like I said, that's where we're at now. It's like, how can you make it more efficient, make it more enticing, and then possibly include video? Because a lot of people don't like live. A lot of people don't want to, reuse their lives or whatever. So it's just finding how to maximize the content thing because it's a really big deal. I know a lot of people don't know how to edit their videos. There's a lot of people like searching like how do you edit, my YouTube video, but editing is the most time-consuming part of production. So it's just like I'm not signed up for that. Like,
girl, the most time-consuming ever. I'm telling you.
Right. So yeah, it's just I just gotta find a balance. But content will be somewhere in there just because that's the way of the world right now. Everybody's doing
content. Everybody. It's the future.
Right.
Content is the future.
Right. So I don't know if that answers your question, but that's how my mind is right now. It's just like, child, like
it's okay. It's okay. You still in the beginning stages. You still brainstorming. So I understand.
Again.
Beginning again. Yes. So how about you give our audience a couple tips on how to move forward being a video photographer or a photographer? What's the next steps for them to get into this lane?
Like they're already in it, or like literally just starting, like
just starting, fresh.
Learn, and I know that sounds so cliche, y'all, but cliches are cliche because they are indeed true. So like for instance, if I went somewhere to shoot, I don't know, on a construction site, right? Something I just had not done before with pictures. It would be a lot of trial and error. I'd be like, ooh, let me see the ISO. Nah. Where somebody who like has taken the time to like literally learn all of the technical stuff, like they can look like, oh, there's this, it has this lighting, whatever, and they know you still have to figure it out, but they know automatically ballpark, like, oh, this should probably be an 800 ISO, which I kind of know that too, but you get what I'm saying. It just makes you work more efficiently. So learn your environments, at least learn the basics of like ISOs, apertures, shutter speeds, because technology is improving and these cameras are getting smart, but they ain't that smart. It will expose you every time. So yeah, don't get caught up. Because you can have an older camera and have pristine pictures. Like you just have to know how to manipulate the light.
Gotcha. It's all about the lighting. Gotcha.
So photos, videos, similar. But my biggest gripe with video is sound. People don't pay attention to the sound because like, oh, it's the camera, it's the video. It's like, but if the sound doesn't match, like it's just the thought, and like, or the sound is like distorted, or it's like sounds like an echo. You're like, it takes away from the whole video. I can't even focus. So do not sleep on the sound when doing your video. Jesus.
You're right. because when you watching movies and they put in, it's like they put in the right music with the scene.
Right.
And it be like, for me, I'm so about the music when it be in the movies because I like to hum the music. I even like to look up the music sometime to go back and replay it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably a little weird, but hey, whatever. But I do like to do that.
Right.
I don't know. I really like I'm a classical music person. I like classical music. I like calming music. It doesn't have to have words all the time.
Right.
I could just listen to nice, soothing music. You know what I mean?
Right. Here for it.
So, we always talk about natural hair on the podcast. So, I
Mhm.
would like you to share a little bit about your natural hair journey. Have you always been natural or did you transition back? What's your current regimen look like?
So I went natural in child, I don't know. I was 23, 22 or 23. So that was
Hmm.
12, 13 years ago. I can't remember when it happened, but I know I took pictures with my mother for my 24th birthday and my fur was of a decent size. So whatever. But I think I was like 22. But it came about though because so my hair is really dense. Like it's fine, my hair, but I have a lot of it, but it's super, super coily. It is like textbook 4C hair, right? And so I was
Girl, who you
relaxed
telling?
all of the time. Like you'd be like, oh, you're relaxing once a quarter. I'm like, in what lifetime? I was getting relaxing like every 5 weeks, which is a lot of chemicals, y'all. It's a lot.
Yes.
So I was tired of that. And then I didn't know what it was at the time, but I had already had MS. And so my scalp like would be like super sensitive, like hypersensitive, like just stuff like just combing or brushing my hair, it would just send like shockwaves through my body. Like so I was like, I can't keep, with all this stuff. So
Hmm.
that was the thing. But I did not want to do a big chop because I was just like, I can't go through little baby fro. I hate the transition look. So I wore braids. I wore braids or twists. I think we were out of the micro braid phase. That wasn't a thing anymore. But I would do cornrows, and then I got to I was wearing like the big curls because then I have
Hmm.
like the hair. It's just like I have like the new growth, and then I had like relaxed hair. So obviously that transition was a mess. So I was wearing like the big curls, like it was like a curly fro. I hated it, by the way, but it was better than cutting it all off. But everybody's getting so cute. I was like, anyway,
That's what you think.
right. So I did that, and then I just didn't go back because again, I was like, I'm not about to put those chemicals in my hair like to that extent, and I just needed something that I could just like not have to manage a lot. But then, of
Right.
course, like everybody knows, you found out real quickly that natural hair is major work. I was just like, the point was to not be doing all this because my scalp was like hypersensitive, so all this like pulling and combing and whatever, and so I kind of just found a balance
Hmm.
of like braids, like so I could just like get it and like leave it. So that was then. I cut it. I did cut it all off though. Like, dang, what was Harvey? I don't know, maybe like 4 years ago, but kind of for the same reason. So first of all, I just wasn't taking care of it. Can't lie, like at all. And then so when it was time to comb it out, I was like rushing, and I knew I was missing. I was just child at a point in life. I think I don't know. So it was uneven. It was all this stuff, but it was also hurting. Like my head was hurting like really bad from like just like from my MS and whatever. And so I was like, I literally can't comb my hair right now, so might as well cut it off. It's uneven. We'll try this wash and go thing. Wonder how I went. Hated it. I liked the wash and go. I did not like the style on me, but everybody was like, "Oh, it's so cute. It fits your face." Blah blah. So whatever. So I did do that, and I got it
Hmm.
cut, I think twice, 3 times max. So I think I only got it cut twice, and I was like, nah. But then it's shorter, so you can wash and go, but you have to like maintain the cut. And I don't like going to the salon because I have
Right.
PTSD. When I was little, I used to go to the salon every Saturday, and so I was always with my dad, and so he would drop me off. And
Hmm.
anybody that knows, if you get dropped off at the salon as a child, they take their time because you're there by yourself. So I'd be there all day. So I was like, I hate going to the salon. So I was just like, nope, this defeats the purpose. So I got to be up here and get my hair cut all the time. So I did the big chop thing, and let's be honest, it wasn't a big chop, it was like natural, but y'all get it. So it was like, kind of short. It had like the curl on the top thing going. I did that for maybe about 3 months, and I was like, we gotta grow it back out. And now it's this. My regimen, I cannot lie, I do not twist my hair every night. I should, but I don't. But I do always cover it because you wake up and stuff will be dry, like the Sahara.
Girl, dry, then I don't know what.
And now you have no choice but to get in the shower because you cannot do anything with it.
Nope, nothing.
But Nia the Lock God products are amazing. That's what I use mostly on my hair right now. They have
What is it called?
Nia the Lock God, NIA.
And then okay, Nia the Lock God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they have a mist. It's like a moisturizer. It has amazing, amazing moisture retention. I use that. They have a detangler now, which the bottle's probably like this big, but I've had that bottle forever. And y'all know natural hair drinks everything, but it lasts.
Girl.
I can literally, if I want to, I don't do it because I know better. But like if I were to wash my hair and go to sleep and not do that, so you wake up and it's like this long, I can spray that stuff, pull it out, and then like comb it with a pick with that detangler. It's amazing. Really? It's a godsend.
Girl, I got to get some of that.
Yes, get that in your life. So I use that. I mean, that's really about it. I try not to get to a point where I like comb through it every day because that's too much like whatever.
Yeah, too much manipulation.
If y'all see me on lives, like the smaller my hair is, then that's how long since I've combed it out. Like this has been combed out in the last few days. It's got some act right, but. So that's what I do. Nia the Lock God products. If I know I'm about to be lazy, I moisturize before I go to bed.
Which is the perfect time to moisturize your hair, is right before bed.
Exactly. We're not out in the elements and all that. So I moisturize, whatever. I might comb it out, I might not. So then when I go to sleep, it's not that hard to, it's not so much manipulation. So that's my short answer. But it took a while to find products that actually worked. Before Nia, I was using Organic Go. No. Well, it's called Organic Go. So they have multiple lines. But the hair is called Organic Grow. And so it's Organic Grow Hair Co. It's kind of a mouthful. But I found them when we were locked in the house back in 2020, like when the world shut down. So what made me want to use them though, of course, that always builds up people's hair growing long and all that. I'm not really ever concerned about like length because what I know about myself, whether my hair is relaxed or natural, once it gets about here, I'm done. I'm done with it. Like it's too much work. And so I was like, I'm not worried about the hair growth. Let me just see, what else. And so for all of their products, they have 3 lines. They have a low porosity, a medium, and a high. And I was like, I've never seen anybody that has.
I love that
on porosity. I was like, let me check it out. So my hair is low porosity. So I did that. I was going through like the regimen. You have low porosity too. So I'm going through the regimen and whatnot. I'm actually keeping it twisted, blah blah. Just going through the months or whatever. And I went to go. I realized my ends were getting kind of rough, so I obviously need to be cut. So I'm like combing it out or whatever. So I hadn't had reason like just comb my hair out. And then I didn't find anybody. I like blow dried it, and it was down to like here, and I was like, oh no, like no Lord, like
yes,
because it's too much. You gotta comb it out. Because I had twisted it, but when I twisted, I didn't undo it. So girl, my twist was literally this long, and then my hair when I combed it out was like, how do you go from this to this? You know how long it
girl. Shrinkage.
So I was just like, no. My stylist was so upset when she saw it. She was like, that would have been cute with twist, blah, blah. I was like, well, I'm not coming outside right now. Because again, this was in 2020. I was doing nothing in the COVID, right? When the COVID was like new.
Right.
And so she was like, well, you could have just, I was like, how long it took me to trim those ends? I cannot commit to that. I was like, no. That was probably the longest my hair had been since like elementary when somebody else was doing my hair. So I'm like, I just don't have the patience. Like that's a lot of hair for natural hair for 4C because you can't just comb through it. You have to like take your time.
Yes, you got to be patient. You have to be patient with it. So you definitely do.
Is my max. I have decided that's all I have patience for. And I think it's going to stay that way because the only alternative is to go to the salon. And I got PTSD. I
Mm.
don't want to be in the salon all the time. So,
Girl, I'm my salon girl. I'm not going into no salon.
right.
I do still want you to tell the people where to find you and how they can locate you or how they can do business with you.
Right. Okay, so I am Jay McNair. My company is Seventh Made Productions. My website is Seventh Made, the number seven, THMADE.com. For social media, I am 7M Productions on everything, really. Twitter that I don't use anymore, but it's there. 7M Productions, Instagram, Facebook. I'm mostly on IG though. But so 7M Productions for social media, and my website is seventhmade.com. And what else? I don't have a niche. But I'm all about the details. So any event videography or photos. I just did a branding shoot, Lipstick by Imani. And
Nice.
I did a branding shoot for my own. I have a podcast. I did a brand shoot for that apparel. But I mean, I really do everything. I'm gonna niche down eventually, but I do everything except for weddings. Weddings are special requests for now. But that's where y'all can find me online.
So you heard Miss J. Make sure y'all get over there and book her. Get you some services done. Get that nice production
Hey,
going on because she got mad skills. So make sure y'all support our Black-owned businesses.
indeed.
But
And the
yeah.
girl does travel, just so you know.
Woo! I love that. Definitely keeping that in mind because I need a video photographer. So yes, you are so welcome, Jay. Thank you for being here today. We appreciate you. Guys, I am your host, Ty the Natural. This has been episode 13. We appreciate you listening and watching, and we're going to see you back on episode 14. Bye.